What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 8 of season 1 of Kaiju number 8. We're going to be talking full spoilers ahead, so hopefully you watch this episode, and we'll do a real quick recap. I almost said a spoiler, but I guess it is technically a spoiler.
True.
So this continues from the last episode. Hoshina is after Kafka in his Kaiju form, Kaiju number 8. He's trying to take him down. He attacks him in a bunch of different ways. Kafka is kind of in a weird place because he has to defend himself, but he also doesn't want to attack Hoshina, so he's doing a lot of maneuvers to try and get away from him. He's determining if he even wants to, attack back in some way, because he can't just keep taking hits, because Hoshina's chopping pretty liberal chunks out of him. Cut his arm off, cut his leg off at one point, cut through his side so much that you could see his core. He's really doing a number on him, and he's using all of his stamina to pretty much regenerate all this. Eventually Hoshina comes in close and goes to stab him where his core's at. He chomped down or something with his body.
Created a mouth there,
yeah. Very The Thing-like. And bit his blade, punched the blade in half, breaking it. The shockwave throws Hoshina away, and that gives time for Kafka to escape, which has Hoshina not very stoked about that. Later, while he's thinking about it, he discusses it with Mina, saying that he got away. He's confused on why he's acting like a human. Also, he thinks he's a Dai Kaiju, which is something that they encountered 5 years ago. I forgot what the name they used for it was, but apparently they've ran into things like this before. And then they also find out that Kaiju number 9 was seen in a humanoid form at one point, which has them all on alert because it's pretty weird. Speaking of Kaiju number 9, he is wandering around recovering, trying to figure out how to kill Kafka. He runs into a dude in a car and takes his form, showing us that he can not only turn to a human, but can take people's form. So he is the Thing. He drives off, and he's trying to figure out how to use this guy's body. It's malfunctioning right now, but he'll get it down, I'm sure. So Tachikawa and Iharu are recovering in the hospital after getting attacked by Kaiju number 9. And we get a funny moment where Kafka's being a little too revealing, and Tachikawa was a little too revealing about the situation, and Iharu's confused on why he's thanking Kafka, but also seems to be a pretty simple dude, because they're able to thwart his investigation twice pretty quickly. And then, they have a celebration. I don't remember if it was based off of their recovery or their first mission. Yeah. So a little bit of both, though. Everybody's stoked that Tachikawa and Iharu are, back and out of the hospital, but they're celebrating completing their first mission with A6 Wagyu, right?
Right.
And beers, and they're all hanging out, and they basically get into a gigantic, some arguments, some just talking energetically about the mission, which is basically what they should be doing, is talking about their weaknesses and how, ways to improve, stuff like that. So they're all, just going at it, having a good night, basically. We also find out that the green-haired guy, that I can't remember his name, is the son of a military contractor guy who makes the Kaiju suits. Yeah. So he's a rich kid as well. A lot of rich kids in this group. And then is it at that party that's revealed Kafka got promoted?
Yes.
Yeah. So Kafka finds out at the very end of this party that he has been promoted from was it cadet to officer?
Yes.
Yes. So because of how much he helped in the last battle with what he found out and spread around for the group, so he was recognized for contributing, which was a big deal because everybody was stoked for him. He's stoked because this is what he's here for.
Right, because he wasn't technically on the same page as everyone else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he was almost there by trial or whatever, just seeing if he could even do anything. So he did. That's good. And then he talks with Mina, basically talking about how Hoshina was the one who said that he should be promoted. And was there anything else that was said in that conversation outside of that he was too familiar with her, and she told me to give him 50 push-ups. It was like kind of a lighthearted moment.
She basically said she's going to be gone for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
She has to go to the higher ups and discuss Kaiju number 8.
That's what I was missing. So that's the thing, and Hoshina's going to be taken over. And then, is that where he sees Hoshina in the training room?
Yeah, after his late night session.
Yes. And so Hoshina is training for when he encounters Kaiju number 8 and 9. There's a whole scene of that, but the big takeaway from there is that he is unconvinced that anybody below him is going to be able to take these guys out, so he's going to have to do it. So he's trying to get prepared for that. And yeah, the end of the episode, we see a bunch of Monster Hunter flying monsters and another humanoid kaiju that's red and has a crazy mouth, who can speak. And they said going to do some, what was it, ascent or descent?
Descend. Initiate descent.
Initiate descent. So they're coming down, apparently. So after the last big fight, we're already jumping into something else. So very interesting. And I'm very curious to find out who that guy is. But outside of all that, what do we think of this episode?
It was a fun episode. Obviously we know Kafka's going to survive this, otherwise the show's kind of pointless. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of curious how that fight was going to go, and it was nice to see that like it was actually a fight, and also the part about it I liked is because he was obviously not trying to fight his vice captain because he's still human mentally.
He's still there for the cause. Yeah,
it kind of put the vice captain on like. It made him feel weird because he's like, "What? Why is this fight so weird? Why is this fight so weird?" And then like, he realized that the kaiju didn't attack him ever; it just attacked his weapon. It was like defending like a human. So, which was it's a couple times now where they've kind of shown how much he's like thinking about the situation all times, which is kind of nice to see because a lot of times people are just like geniuses for no reason. So
yeah.
The whole, the rest of the episode was a lot of like feel good and comedy moments, which I really appreciate anyways. It's a nice break in between action scenes because obviously as the end of the episode showed us, we're going to be heading right back into it.
Something else is coming.
Yeah. And plus with a little bit of like, set up and build up and like some breadcrumbs with the Kaiju number 9 switching forms and like people, having to take care of their responsibilities and stuff like that. So, yeah, overall, it was a fun episode. There wasn't a lot of like big things going on. It was mostly, the celebration, which was fun.
The recovery episode after the big fight.
Yeah.
Entering another big fight.
Yeah, I think it was good. Pacing was good. The comedy was funny. The action was good. Like the show's doing a good job. So.
Yeah, I liked the part with Hoshina chasing after Kafka, just because I thought the animation was actually done really well. A lot of, not even just in the action itself, but like the movement when they're jumping around and stuff like that. Also, Hoshina slicing, not even when he sliced pieces off of him, but like when he sliced through his side, it just opened up.
Yeah. And
I think it took his arm off too with the slice or something like that. They did a really good job on emphasizing how fucking sharp his sword is, because like when he did that, I was like, oh damn! It's not even like a lot of just anything, but animes will just be like a cut or something. But he's like opened him up.
Yeah, and
I was like, okay, he's not fucking around. So that was cool to watch. Although I was just sitting there going like, well, what is he gonna do? Yeah. Like he can't fight back, but you can't just let him cut you up. So. I'm glad he did, at the very least, neutralize him by breaking his sword. Because the whole time I'm like, I feel like you could kill the shit out of this guy if you punched him, because that's what he does. But obviously he doesn't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. So it was a fun thing to watch. And then the celebration was cool. It was a lot of fun. I also liked the hospital scene. I thought that was really funny too, just because the whole time Iharu's just like, oh yeah, that's probably true. Oh yeah, no, he totally is old. Like. While they're at, I forgot her name, but Kikoru is just uppercutting Kafka in the back.
Yeah.
That was fun as well. I'm really curious about the 5 years ago Dai Kaiju that they fought. It had a name and everything. so I assume they killed it or captured it. But I'm assuming it maybe escaped. Maybe this dude showing up is him. I don't know. But that's gonna be interesting to find out more about because they've ran into something like this before. So
Of that power, I think they mentioned when number 8 showed up, that was the first humanoid looking one they've ever seen. So, because Daikaiju just means grand, basically.
sure, but they're saying he's that, and this last thing was the name too. So I'm still curious about that.
He said that his power was probably equal to a Daikaiju when they were fighting initially, and then when he was referring to her, he was a little more simple about it. But
I'll have to rewatch that because he like the way he was talking. Well, I'm still curious about whatever that was 5 years ago.
Sure,
that's my whole point.
Sure.
Is they ran something that was like this before, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means. So, regardless of all that, I'm curious about what that is, what they ran into, and then what else happened. Oh, the celebration was fun. I like that we learned a little bit more about the green-haired guy, even though I can't remember his name, but I'm sure as the show goes on, I'll get it. And then the other dude that he's kind of in competition with, he mentioned at one point that he basically he wants to make sure nobody gets hurt while he's there. So that's a fun little tidbit about his ambitions. I guess everybody's got their own ambitions. And then what else? The end basically was kind of crazy. Wasn't expecting to see first off flying kaiju, but then also on top of them some red dude. The is gonna make reference to Soul Leveling, but I always forget that maybe you're not watching one of the animes we also watch, so I don't want to say anything. But it reminded me of something from that, and I was like, that guy's in this, huh? But I thought it was really interesting that the flying things in this have the same mouth as that dude, so that was kind of interesting. Although seeing so many humanoid kaijus so quickly, I'm just like, is this going to turn into like just a lot of humanoid kaijus versus people type thing? Like I was expecting to see like more monsters, but we got the flying monsters, so that's kind of cool. And we haven't seen them fight a flying enemy yet, so it'd be cool to see how they go about doing that. So yeah, looking forward to the next episode. I really like this episode, and enjoying the show so far. So anything else?
nope, I don't think so.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think of this episode. What were some of the biggest highlights for you? Maybe there's something that happened in the episode we didn't talk about that you want to talk about. Let us know in the comments. And where do you think things are going from here? Unless you know, please don't spoil anything for us because we don't read the manga, so we don't know where it's going. It's more fun if we go in blind. So thank you. And let me know everything you think about when it comes to Kaiju number 8 in the comments below. I've been Seth, this is Chevy, and until the next episode, which will be we got Delicious in Dungeon and Demon Slayer. Delicious in Dungeon's fucking ending. I'm so upset about that. If you don't know why, watch the show and follow our reviews. I've been Seth, this is Chevy, and we'll talk to you guys later.